Hello everyone, my name is Maddox, and I'm finally making some new content. It's been a while, but I'm going to make some content about Warframe. Warframe is a game I have played for a significant amount of time, I believe upwards of 700 hours now, maybe 600, 700, around there for sure. In the new event, or not new event, a returning event, the Plague Star event, is a fantastic way to get some good materials for you, if you're a new game player or if you're a returning player. So I'm going to break it down real quick about some good things to bring into the event, maybe some prep work you have to do, and the rewards you can gain from the event, and we'll just break it down real quickly. So first of all, let's just show what the event is. From your navigation station, it'll tell you all you need to know. Here, basically it'll give you a marker where you have to go down into a tunnel and grab a tube of toxin. And then what you have to do is you have to take the toxin to a mixing machine on the plains, and you can defend the mixing machine while you're also in that stage able to add toxins to it. There's specifically a infested catalyst and a eidolon phylaxis you can add to the toxin at this stage. I'll show you those later. And it will allow you to spawn a boss monster, which will drop good mods that if you don't have are good to pick up. Next, you will have to bring the toxin to a drone. The drone will then go over to the infested boil on the plains of Eidolon, and and it will start the event off. Depending on how much toxin you put into or how much catalyst you put into the toxin mixer, it will spawn significantly harder bosses. And it shows that right here. The Eidolon Phylaxis can be created from a blueprint purchased from Nakak and increases toxin lethality. The Eidolon Phylaxis is something you will need standing from doing the event for us. You need to do the event at least once before you can get the Eidolon Phylaxis. Then you'll be able to purchase it from Nakak. I'll show you that a little later. And the Infested Catalyst is in the Infested Lab in the clan's dojo, and it will allow you to spawn the Hemocyte, the boss monster. So, if you're not in a clan, I suggest you join a clan. It'll be here in your dojo, and you can join in. Now we need to talk a little bit about prep. So if you wanted to prep up, you could get some Arcwing launchers to help you do the mission faster. There are long stretches on the mission where you have to move from one place to the other. So getting these launchers or picking a Warframe that can kind of speed you up and get you where you need to faster will help speed up the overall progress of the mission, but it's nothing that's 100% necessary. The Infested Catalysts are here, and the Eidolon Phylaxis are here. The Catalyst, like I said before, in the biolab of the dojo, or of the clan you join, you can purchase the blueprint there, and then you will also get the blueprint for the Eidolon Phylaxis from Nakak on Cetus after you complete the mission at least once. So these are two things you probably need to look for to build. If you have the materials to build them, good. If you don't, what's 100% fine. That's just something you can do as prep. So now let's talk about Warframes you could bring. Nova and Loki are good Warframes to bring just because they speed up the process. The third phase of the mission, where you have to escort the drone to the infested boil, can take some time, so you can use Nova to portal the drone forward, and you can use Loki to teleport the drone forward, just getting the mission done a little faster. But if you're newer coming into the game and you're a bit more early, maybe you have an Excalibur, or hopefully you have a Rhino, these are definitely two good frames to bring. If I was to suggest one of them between the two, I would highly suggest Rhino, because Rhino brings a damage buff to your whole team that will help the mission go a lot smoother. So for newer players, I would definitely recommend Rhino for this mission. Now let's talk about the weapons. Personally, I bring in the Tenora, but I would highly suggest you bring in either a shotgun that does a lot of crit damage, like the Vacor Heck or the Heck are good weapons to bring. If you're a newer player, you should be able to pick up the Bratton or the MR1 Bratton. It's just a light machine gun. There it is, the MK1 Bratton. The issue is if, let's say you have played the game a little more and you have maybe a sniper rifle, for example. The problem with the Hemocytes is that they actually have a damage cap that you can do to it at each time. So instead of hitting it hard, you need to hit it more. That's why I would recommend any weapon that you have that shoots a significant amount of bullets, be it a shotgun or an assault rifle. For secondaries, some people say bring like wave clear. They don't necessarily really matter. And then for your melee weapon, you can kind of bring whatever. If you're a newer player and don't know too much about it, I would highly suggest picking up the Atarax. It's one of the best weapons in the game, and you can get it fairly early on. So I would definitely suggest picking this up from the market, which you can buy the blueprint from. But if not, just bring which weapons you have, just so you can do a little more wave clear when you're fighting the smaller adds that spawn around the boss. For the companion loadout, neither of these matter. Don't worry about these. Just bring what you want with what you have. But the number one thing I do want to reiterate is bringing in a multi-shot weapon where you have a lot of bullets going out, and bringing in a frame that can boost the damage of your party is very, very good, and just boost your own damage will help you get the event over quicker. Now, the only way to spawn the bosses in the event, like it says here, during the second stage, is during this part, take the canister to a mixing machine and defend the machine while it mixes. During that part, if you have purchased and have the catalysts, either the idle on full access or the infested catalyst, with those, you can inject those into the mixer, and that's how you spawn the boss monster. Now, what does the boss monster drop? The boss monster will drop hunter mods. And there are these mods right here. If you do not have these mods, it's always good to have at least one of each mod you can ever get. So definitely spawn the boss, pick them up. You're getting good stuff here. Definitely, there's no worries getting all this. If you do not have access to, let's say, a clan or a dojo and you can't get the catalyst, don't worry. Generally, there's someone on the mission that will be able to help you out and just say, hey, I'm sorry, I'm new, I don't have these catalysts, does anyone have them? And then they'll put them in there for you. But if you do have the catalyst, one thing you need to make sure you do before you go on the mission, just to finish up our section on prep, before you go on the mission, you need to go to your gear slot and you need to equip them. If you do not equip the toxins on your gear slot, you will not be able to activate them in the mission. So 100% make sure you equip these before you go out on the mission, and you can also equip them in Cetus, which I will show you as well, just to make sure you have those if you did prep and have those equipped. Now, let's go down to Cetus real quick, and I will show you exactly what the event's all about, what you can gain, and the real good things to look at as far as what you can get with the event. So, up until this point, we've done our prep, we've chosen our Warframe, we got catalysts and arcwing launchers, if we have them. We've got our multi-shot weapon and maybe a secondary and a melee weapon to help us clear out these smaller enemies that show up, and we're well on our way. Also, another side note is that the boss monster does not get affected by status. So, also, this is how you can go back into your arsenal. You go to your menu, equipment, arsenal. So if you somehow forget to equip your toxins, you can put them right back there. The boss is not affected by status. So let's say you have the Tigris, for example, a great weapon, but a very bad critical weapon. Is a very good status weapon, but a bad critical weapon. So most of the damage you would do won't really be effective with the Tigris. So what you want to do is, if you have the mods for it, you can just do here, just search crit and put your critical damage mods in, put your your serration, your regular damage mods in, and do as much damage and critical damage as you can. Do not worry about status, because if you worry about status, you're not really going to be doing nearly as much damage as you potentially could. Now, when you're here in Cetus, this vendor here is the one that will give you, oh, actually, first of all, to start the mission at all, I'm getting stuck. You come over here, talk to Konzu, go to bounties, and then go to Plague Star. These are some of the rewards you can get from it. So that's how you start the mission. But how you level up and how you go through the mission, and where the rep vendor is for this mission, is right here at Nakak. You come here, go to Operational Supply. You'll have to level it up once or twice. You'll be able to level it up fairly quickly just by doing the mission. When you come, there'll be offerings and a title button when you are maxed out, which should only take maybe 1 or 2 missions max of this bar. Come over here, go to title, and upgrade. So you can get more standing and buy new things. Now, what she has to offer is very, very good. I would recommend at least picking up the Plague Star emblem, just so you can have it. I wouldn't worry too much about unless you already have a lot of the things here. I wouldn't, as a newer player especially, I would not worry too much about getting any of these materials. If you have everything you want already, sure, pick some up. But Cetus Wisps take a while to get, and this is a very good way to farm them. And Formas, these especially, are fully built, meaning you will not have to go into your foundry and build these. And what these do is they add a polarity slot to your weapons, which I will get into another video because that is a whole nother can of worms, a whole nother ordeal. As far as my recommendations on what to pick up, get the Plague Star emblem, get these 2 mods because it's the only place you can get them. Here, like I said before, is where you can pick up the Eidolon Phylaxis blueprint. The Snipertron and Ether Daggers are 2 weapons that are currently, I believe you get a Ether Daggers blueprint by playing the story missions, but the Snipertron outside of events like this is currently out of the game. So definitely pick up at least one of each of these so you'll be able to level it up to level up your mastery rank. You don't have to keep them after you level them, but sometimes they're nice to have. I'll be buying an extra blueprint of each just so I can have them. A must-have for sure is these plague parts here. This is the only place to get these parts for the plague Zaws. So I would suggest while you're doing the event to buy at least maybe 3 or 4 of these. It might take a while, but it is well worth having a couple of these blueprints on hand. These are not reusable. They will be used up as soon as you craft them and as soon as you put them together with other parts. So I'd say definitely get at least a couple of these so you have them on hand. These are for your Warframe. These are what are called arcanes that you can slot in to basically do bonus stuff. You'll see here, after a bullet jump or double jump, air melee attacks unleash a projectile that does damage. So what you're going to want to do is, I would also suggest picking up 10 of each of these because that'll give you the max rank and you'll never have to buy any of these ever again. So for new players, once again, definitely get Formas, get these 2 mods, are must-haves. You can get more Cetus Whips if you would like, but I would definitely suggest the main things you get is 10 of each of these. Get a couple of these so you have like maybe I'd say 3 or 4 of each. And definitely get these, otherwise you won't be able to get them elsewhere. And that's pretty much it with the event. So as a small overview, we'll go back in. We've got the Warframe that we picked. Let's say, like I said, I would suggest Rhino. It's very good for this mission. We have our multi-shot weapon. The secondary and melee don't really matter that much. Neither do these 2. If you did or didn't, make sure, if you did pick up the Phylaxis and the Catalyst, make sure you equip them here. And then there is the Arcwing Launcher if you got those as well. If not, all good. We talked about how the mission goes back on the ship, so you know the structure of the mission, exactly what to do. You'll get markers on your map to tell you exactly what to do and where to go. If you don't fully understand it after the first time, you'll get it right there. Come to Konzo, get in here, do the event, and get your rewards. Anyway, thank you so very much for watching. Once again, my name is Maddox. If you'd like to see more of my content, you can subscribe here, or you can see me on twitch.tv. I'll leave a link in the description, as well as a link to my Twitter, where I announce when I stream, yada yada. Shilling myself is fun. It just is. Anyway, thank you again for watching, and I'll see you another time. Later.